I'm going to talk to Ben Frank. So we're doing a proper afternoon tea. We've been in the pub garden, and now we're going to have our scones with a bit of bubbly. And Ben Frank's from Novel Wines is on the line. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Claire. Hi, Bryony. Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. Let's talk about what Bryony has just been making there. So savoury scones, what would you serve with them if it wasn't a cup of tea?
If it's not a cup of tea, savoury scones and anything that has a salt factor. So if you stuff your scones with some smoked salmon or some cured meats like serrano ham, anything salty like that loves acidity. So fabulous zippy wines. Somerset has some great ones. Aldwick Estate, based in Somerset, make a sparkling wine from Save Old Blanc. It's really crisp lemon fruit, and that would cut through it really nicely. So anything fresh and zippy like that. If you want something extra special, Furley Estate in Dorset do a zero-dose fizz, which is basically a very extra dry style. So you get this green apple skin fruit, and that cuts right through the food, and everything tastes better. With something like that.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
There we go. What about sweet? So that's savoury. So we're talking about the salty flavours. What about sweet, Ben? What would you put with those?
Well, I'm a sweet tooth.
Also, is that harder to match?
It is, because usually with sweetness you need as much sugar or more, and that's quite hard to do in wines because most of the wine we drink in this country is dry. But you can get some really nice sweeter sparklings, and the cheat for that is basically just opt for something a bit more warm climate. So if you move down from England and France and go towards somewhere like Brazil and do a aromatic young Pinot Noir rosé fizz, we've got one from Brazilian family winery called Familia Gais, and that's got kind of this brioche, creamy autolysis and strawberry notes, and that's got just enough residual sugar that it will stand up to something like jam scones really nicely. And Slovenia as well is a really good place to look for fizz that's got a little bit of a peachy note, and then that will stand up to dried fruit and maybe even chocolate as well. So if you go warmer climate with your sparkling wines, you can get some really interesting pairings to go with your afternoon tea.
And let's face it, with the travel ban in place, this is the closest we're going to get to any of these countries, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But match made in heaven, really.
Now, Ben, what about getting and sourcing alcohol at the moment? Because a lot of people, they can't get to the shops or they haven't got very much. What are we doing about that right now?
So the whole trade has kind of had to pivot quite quickly, and a lot of people are doing deliveries. There's a lot of local wine merchants that will deliver to you for free. So have a look at some of the Bristol shops if you're based in Bristol. If you're in Bath, we're doing free same-day delivery. A lot of the restaurants and wine bars have kind of switched to dropping wine around to people's houses as well, and they're the people who know the wine really well. So if you give your local wine merchant a call, they'll be more than happy to send you some bottles to have and pair it with any food you're making as well.
Bryony, have you had any problems kind of getting food and drink in?
No, we've done all right so far. We've got a pretty good stash of wine at home, so we've been all right.
Excellent planning. Ben and Bryony, thank you so much. That was brilliant. Lovely to chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much indeed. 22.